weak-minded will follow him and they will begin to drink the Kool-Aid. But we got to jump into our interview with the senator. So you stay by your phone and call us back, David, when he says.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
First, I want to congratulate you. You are actually one of two reasons why I voted in the Democratic primary, since I was not considered myself.
Thank you.
Now, I have voted for you in every election so far that you have run in, and I think the only way that I won't vote for you in this upcoming election is that if Vanessa Bell Calloway decides to move to Memphis and run for office.
What? Now we know who the other person you gonna vote for.
Who is that?
Start with
You
it.
talking about that?
Who? You know who it is, your best friend.
My best friend.
20 years.
See, wait a minute. See.
Bye, David. We gotta go.
Well, who's his best friend?
Yeah, who's your best friend?
WW.
Oh, bye. Well, we got to take our first break. We're going to come back and we're going to jump in this conversation, hit this poverty, hit this education, hit diversity. We're going to talk all these things with Senator Harris. If you want to call in, talk with him, call us at 901-260-5926. Again, it's 901-260-5926. Yeah, Kanye was on TMZ.
I've been out of it, apparently.
Yeah, you got to Google it.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta.
And he was serious about it.
Really?
Yes, he was that serious.
Wow.
So,
He's always been like
a
that?
black guy in TNT that came from around, like was working in the newsroom, he just blasted him. Kanye. So,
Maybe he's like I said, maybe it's just something's going on with him on drugs. You know what I mean?
Care and application assistance to help pay for needed services.
John
Choices is
Legend.
proud to provide
John
comprehensive
Legend's wife.
Kanye,
reproductive
Jamie Foxx defended him.
LGBTQ affirming
Defended Kanye
environment.
West?
We
Yeah.
offer a wide range
I
of
hadn't read it
services,
yet. The
such as
article came out
general
today.
wellness, fertility
he only
assistance,
wanted his
STI
mom
testing and treatment, reproductive
Tim's
health
mom
services for
defended
people
him
living
so I
with
can get back
HIV,
to his
including
mom.
PrEP and
Yeah.
PEP, birth control,
He'll get back
Gardasil
to his
vaccinations,
Actually, I feel sorry for him. Like,
miscarriage management, and services for trans and
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
people, including hormone replacement
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah.
as
It's-
well
it's-
as
it's sad.
choices.
rich white people, of course. Yeah.
Hey, I need y'all to, when is registration end? Registration ends in July. No, June.
30 days before Election Day, so it'll be July 2nd.
July 2nd. Register to vote. Vote for Lee Harris, Shelby County Mayor. Lee Harris, Shelby County Mayor.
Every
I may
day.
even be able to check on it too, but yeah, July
We're going to
2nd.
register people at the church. You can call here. We got some voter registration forms. We need to register you. Register.
You're not on now.
Stay in care.
Oh, you're on.
Hey, register and vote for Lee Harris for Shelby County Mayor.
In Memphis, condoms are free from Planned Parenthood and their friends all over town.
Nothing sexier than free. So check out freecondomsmemphis.org and get some.
We got to talk about it.
Want to talk about sex? Talk about condoms.
You know we like
July
it.
3rd.
July 3rd
is the last day.
July 3rd is the last day to register to vote. We're going to register some people.
FreeCondomsMemphis.org.
So everyone goal should be to register 5 people.
Go get
That's a
tested
good
for
goal.
HIV/AIDS.
It's a low goal, but 5 to 10 people should be your goal for this election. The primaries that's on August the 2nd. Let's register. Let's take over and do what we have to do.
For African American women between the ages
And then,
of
no,
34
we're going to have a bus. We're going to
HIV/AIDS,
get us some
and
Greyhound
civil
buses to
rights
take people to the
health
polls to
confronting
vote.
African Americans.
We gonna buddy up.
Yeah. I need a budget center so I can use some buses, charter buses, to pick people up.
Sunday at 12:30 p.m.
Now we're
for our
talking.
Spirit-filled worship service, and each Wednesday at 6:30
Buddy
p.m. for
voting.
our Bible study. You do not want to
Yeah.
miss these power-packed services. We are a church for all people, and we welcome you as we transform the Memphis culture. The church is located inside Bud Presbyterian Church at 561 South Prescott Street.
I know some people who didn't vote.
Dr. Darnell
Her
Bishop,
mama didn't
Senior
vote.
Pastor of the Cathedral Praise
You
Church of
didn't pick
Memphis.
her up.
Her mama didn't vote.
Hope to see you
My
there.
mama vote every election.
Her mama didn't
This
vote.
is the city. This is
They're
their
going to make sure
story.
she vote next time.
Some names have been changed,
like the early
and
vote.
so many
You
lives
take
have
it.
been changed too. They're going to
We're
give
gonna
you the
early vote
facts,
again.
just the facts. Some call this a city of
1
crime.
minute, 1
When
minute.
they're done,
We'll be right
It's
back.
going to be the city that cares a lot. This is the city, Memphis, Tennessee, where fearless, inspired, on fire, hungry hungry rebel revolutionaries has transformed hearts and minds. Not with weapons, but with their own brand of compassion, integrity,
Are you going out this weekend?
and hard work.
Yeah, I'm going to
All they're
Margarita
asking
View.
is for you to join their movement. It's easy to join with a donation of
It is right across from, what's that place?
and it's all for the nonprofit
Yeah, Texas
organization
Brazil.
relationships.
Oh, Texas Day Brazil? In downtown? Downtown? It's called Margaritaville?
Directly across the street from
education, empowerment, and enrichment
I guess I'll
the
hang out.
LGBTQ community.
We're gonna celebrate
and its
that.
allies.
Yeah.
Go to
Erica Badu will be here tomorrow.
Relationship
Yeah.
Unleashed.
She's gonna be at the New Daisy after show.
On the World
After party.
Wide Web. Relationship Unleashed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'll work.
All donations are tax deductible. Come on, join the movement.
you gonna be
By the way,
patrolling the area?
I don't need a badge.
Look,
or
honey, I
anything.
can't wait till I get a new
carry
job.
microphone.
Got controls on holidays. We back?
Yep.
Yo, I got three little living labs in the kitchen whipping magic. I got three little living labs.
And we're back. This is the live show on KWAM 990 Talk Radio. We educate and empower the community, and I'm sitting here with the G to the Q. We have published a new magazine. Will be out on next week. TUV magazine, the May-June edition. It's hot. Hot like a stove with your hand on it. Don't touch it. And we have the senator in the house, Senator Lee Harris. So, Senator, let's jump right into this interview. What is your campaign going to do to fight this poverty here in Shelby County, Memphis, Tennessee?
Well, you just said congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, congratulations.
it.
How we just dominated. Congratulations. We get ready to dominate again. So, what are we going to do to fight it?
So you're right. So congratulations are in order. I think we did pretty well as Democrats on Tuesday. No doubt about it. We actually have the most qualified, the most diverse set of nominees that I think we've ever seen on the Democratic side of the aisle, at least in many, many years.
Great action.
So what people may not, have looked at is that we just came out of this election. It was all local folks on the ballot, and there were 10 county-wide positions on the ballot. Things like county clerk, criminal court clerk, probate court clerk, Shelby County mayor, assessor of property, trustee, so forth and so on. So there's 10 of those. And out of those 10 positions on the Democratic side, because you've got to select a party, on the Democratic side we have 5 women running countywide and 5 men. Now that's diversity. That is exactly what our ticket should look like. It should be representative of the population at large. Moreover, of those 5 and 5 men, 5 women, we've got people from the suburbs. We've got people from the core of the city of Memphis. We've got people that are under 50 running countywide. We've got people over 50. We've got a lot of people with crossover appeal. For example, we've got Floyd Bonner, who right now works for Sheriff Bill Odom, who's supporting him. And Bill Odom is a Republican sheriff.
He is.
We also have Heidi Kuhn, who is also someone with a lot of crossover appeal. I've worked with a lot of Republicans in the past, and so, I'm hopeful that I'll have some crossover appeal. We've got a lot of people with local government experience. We've got people like Wanda Halbert and Janice Fuller and Bill Morrison, and people that have served on the city council, and of course Wanda served the Shelby County Board of Commissioners. So this is just a really qualified ticket. And then we've got Regina Newman, also at the top of the ticket. She's running as trustee, and she has served as trustee in the past. So this is a ticket that's really, really qualified, really, really experienced, and really, really diverse. And by the way, before you cut me off, because I know you want to move some other stuff,
I just say this about the ticket.
This really contrasts with what the Republicans did on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Because on Tuesday, they also voted for 10 countywide office holders.
Men.
Yep, and they voted from basically all men.
Yeah.
So they got 9 men.
White men.
No minorities. Right? No minorities.
Yeah.
And remember, Memphis and Shelby County is between 52 to 54% African American. And they have no minorities.
None.
They had an incumbent minority run for office, right? The incumbents always win.
Yeah.
And they voted them out.
Yeah.
They voted them out on Tuesday. So the one African American they had on their side of the aisle, they voted out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They had Robert Hill, who's a great guy. I've known Robert Hill for many years.
Yeah.
He's an African American. He's a Republican. Lots of county government experience.
Yeah.
He did not win. They voted him out.
Yeah.
And so they have no minorities. They have almost all men.
Yes.
9 men, and they have 1 woman
Yes.
on their ticket. So that's not a step forward.
No, it's not.
And so that is not representative of what our citizenry looks like. It's not representative of our population looks like. We did our job on May 1st as Democrats. We made sure we had a very representative slate, and so now we're going to come back, fight hard in August, and I think we've got a shot at being competitive. Okay, that was a long explanation of this week.
That was needed. That was much needed.
No, I think that the listeners want to hear from you. I don't think they want to hear from us today. And primarily because we want to make sure that you touch the core of the community that aren't quite familiar with you, and that they need to get familiar with you because this is a prime opportunity to move us in the direction that we foresee for ourselves and not like what we've gotten in the past.
That's right.
Where the community is involved. For instance, you are sitting in here in a grassroots radio station having a conversation with us. And we've invited many candidates, sitting mayors, running mayors, to come in and sit down and talk to our listeners. And you have taken us up on this offer. So people need to understand that we have a mayor here, a candidate for mayor, that represent all the people. Everybody is important, I believe, in Lee Harris's eyes. So we just want you to talk about your plan that you have when you take this position, and anything that you want to share with the listeners or anybody to grab some people that don't know you and pull them on your side today. It's all yours.
I appreciate that. So I have been in service in elected office for the last 7 years, 3 years on the Memphis City Council, and now I'm in my 4th year in the state Senate. I represent the core of the city of Memphis. It's really the heart of the city of Memphis. I represent neighborhoods like Midtown and Downtown and South Memphis and Whitehaven. I replaced Ophelia Ford in 2014 and have been serving ever since. I'm one of the top Democrats in the state Senate, passed a lot of bills into law, and worked on a whole bunch of issues. And so I'm running for county mayor, and county mayor is responsible for, county government is responsible for a whole host of issues. It's a $1.2 billion budget, 5,000 employees, and kind of has his hand in a whole lot of aspects of our lives, because it's at the local level. But the 3 main areas that county government is responsible for is education, healthcare, and incarceration. So county government more or less owns the only public hospital in town, Regional 1. County government appoints the decision makers, the board for Regional 1. County government is a principal funding source for our school system, Shelby County School System. That's one of our most important organizations in town. And county government is responsible for funding and overseeing, and the sheriff takes the lead on a lot of this, overseeing incarceration. So we've got 3 detention facilities in our county. We've got juvenile court, we've got jail east, and we have 201 Poplar. So that's a lot of really important areas of responsibility.
What? Got Shelby County Division of Correction.
Shelby County Division of Correction. I stand corrected. Yeah. So that's a lot of areas of responsibility, and so you got to have somebody in there that has had some previous experience in a leadership role. And I'm the only candidate right now because now it's just down to 2.
Yes.
Right? It's down to me and my Republican opponent.
Yes.
And so between me and my Republican opponent, people always say, "Well, who you running against?" And I just tell people because it's good for them to know, and so we can have it all out on the table. So I'm running against David Lenore. He's a Shelby County trustee right now. He's been there for 8 years. But I will say this: that as between me and my opponent, I'm the only person in this race at this point with real leadership experience. I try as best I can to be on the forefront of every issue of major concern since I've been in elected office. I've run the budget committee on the Memphis City Council, and so I have vast local government experience. I serve as the top Democrat in the state Senate, and that's also a very important consideration, right?
It is.
Because you've got to have relationships in the state to get some things done.
Yes.
Right? You want to get more funding for education. You want to get health care expanded access to Medicaid and so forth. You've got to have some relationship at the state level. I'm the only person with that kind of experience, that kind of relationship, those kind of relationships. The other thing is, I'm the only person in this race now that lives in the city of Memphis.
Hello.
Right? City of Memphis comprises the vast majority of the county. I'm the only person in this race who lives in the city. Yes. I'm the only person in this race who has kids in the public schools. Yeah. Right? One of the major areas of responsibility is education, and I got skin in the game. Right? I got a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old in the public school system right now. Yeah. And so I want to see that school system succeed, and we have a lot of problems there. And there are a lot of people working on it, but I got to be honest. I can't sugarcoat it. The Commercial Appeal just reported recently that about 90% of our kids, when they graduate, are not college ready. 90%. Right? That's almost everybody. Yeah. So the point is that we have got to do more. We've got to do better by these kids, do better in terms of education, do more in terms of investing in students, do more in terms of creating more meaningful opportunity. I've got a perspective and a set of experiences that I think bode well for getting some of that stuff done. So we're running real hard. We've got 90 days left. Like you say, the last day to register is July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Yeah, the good part about it is people can register online now, right?
Really?
They can go to govotn.com. If they go to govotn.com, it'll take them about 2 minutes to register. So I started an organization last year. It's called Tennessee Voter Project. and it's an organization dedicated to just growing the number of people that are registered to vote. So if you're not registered to vote, you can go to govotn.com. It'll take you 2 minutes. You don't need any documentation, and you will be registered to vote at the end of that 2 minutes. And that is a game changer.
It is a game changer. I'm on here right